Welcome back to The Deep Dive, your express route to being brilliantly informed. Today, we're jumping into something really important for a lot of people globally. We're talking about mastering English for those big exams. Okay, let's unpack this. We're zeroing in on, the world of standardized English tests like IELTS, that's the International English Language Testing System, and TOEFL.
Right.
These aren't just simple tests, are they? They seem to be more about assessing your ability to actually use English day to day.
Exactly. It's about functioning.
Our deep dive today pulls from English for Exams, Learn and Succeed, and we're also looking at the Learn and Success YouTube channel, specifically episode 72. It seems to have some really practical tips for speaking, writing, listening, and reading.
And it's so important to grasp why these exams matter so much. I mean, they're really designed to gauge what we call functional proficiency.
Functional proficiency. Okay.
Yeah, basically, can you use English effectively? Can you handle university lectures, workplace communication, just, daily life in an English-speaking place?
So it's a benchmark.
It is. It gives universities, employers, immigration authorities some confidence that you have the language skills you need. It goes way beyond just knowing grammar rules from a textbook.
That makes sense. And that's really what we want to get to the heart of today. Think of this as a shortcut, helping you understand what these tests are really looking for. Hopefully you'll have those aha moments about what actually counts. We're aiming to show you the strategies that can really make a difference. So let's start broad. What are these exams actually trying to measure? I think our listeners get the basics, but maybe we can dig into how they test English and what aspects they really focus on. They're definitely more involved than just memorizing vocabulary lists, right?
Oh, absolutely. Far more. A really key thing from the sources is how these tests evaluate real-world communication across different, modalities.
Yeah.
Like speaking, writing.
Exactly. Speaking, writing, listening, reading. But often, it's about integrated skills. That's what stands out.
Integrated how? Well, you might say read an article, then listen to a related talk, and then you have to write or speak about both of them, synthesizing the information.
Ah, okay. Like you would in uni or a meeting.
Precisely. It tests if you can weave those skills together, not just use them in isolation. It's about showing you're ready for those practical situations. Can you do things with English, not just know about it?
Right. Application under pressure. That makes perfect sense. And that leads us nicely into breaking down those 4 core skills you mentioned: speaking, writing, listening, reading. English for Exams covers these, and Learn and Success, episode 72, really drills down on them. Let's dig into speaking first. This seems to be a big source of anxiety for people. What are examiners really listening for? It can't just be pronunciation, can it?
Well, pronunciation matters, obviously. But a common mistake people make, according to Learn and Succeed, is thinking they need super complex words and grammar.
Right. Trying too hard, maybe?
Exactly. Yeah. What's often more important is fluency and coherence. Episode 72 from Learn and Success points this out, pausing too much to find that perfect word. They can actually hurt your score more than using a slightly simpler phrase that comes out smoothly.
Interesting.
Examiners are listening for how well you organize your thoughts on the fly, how clearly you express them, and if you can keep talking naturally without, too many long pauses or and ums.
Okay.
It's also about using natural sounding expressions, good intonation, and using linking words like however, so, also to connect your ideas logically. Someone who does that smoothly sounds much more proficient.
That's a great insight. Fluency and coherence trumping complexity. It feels more authentic. Okay, so moving from speaking on the spot to the writing section. This feels like another big hurdle: essays, summaries, arguing a point, all against the clock. What separates a top-scoring piece of writing in these tests?
Yeah, writing shifts the focus quite a bit towards more formal academic style. Both English for Exams and episode 72 really hammer home logical organization and cohesion.
Right.
Meaning your paragraphs need a clear point, they need supporting details, and the ideas need to flow logically from one to the next. Episode 72 specifically warns against just making a list of points. You have to develop them, give examples, explain them.
Right. Show your reasoning.
Exactly. For essays, like in Task 2, You need a clear argument, well-supported points in your paragraphs, and a strong conclusion. And for those integrated tasks where you summarize a lecture in text, for example, the skill is blending that information accurately without putting in your own opinion, using good paraphrasing, and keeping it formal. It's really about using language precisely to build a case or convey information clearly.
That difference between just listing ideas and actually developing them seems crucial. Okay, then there's listening. People sometimes think, oh, I understand English, but these tests often throw in different accents, fast speech, lectures, conversations. What are the key listening skills needed beyond just, hearing the words?
It's definitely more than just picking out keywords. A big tip from Learn and Success is about anticipation and active note-taking.
Anticipation, like guessing what's coming.
Sort of. It's more about understanding the context and predicting the type of information you might hear next. Examiners want to see if you can follow the main ideas, catch specific details, but also understand things like the speaker's attitude or implications. You often only hear it once, right?
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
So episode 72 suggests practicing listening for specifics. Like if you need a number, tune your ear for quantities. And crucially, recognizing signposting language.
Signposting, like firstly, next, in conclusion.
Exactly. Phrases like firstly, in contrast. To summarize, however, these signal the structure of the talk and help you follow the argument, even if the topic is unfamiliar or the accent is tricky. You're building a mental map as you listen.
Anticipation and signposting, those sound like really practical strategies. Okay, last skill, reading. This isn't just reading for pleasure. You're often facing dense academic texts or articles, and you need to be quick and accurate. What are the advanced strategies test takers need here?
Yeah, reading on these exams is very strategic. It's not just about understanding words. What's fascinating is the need for a toolkit of techniques. English for Exams really emphasizes skimming reading quickly to get the main idea, then scanning, looking for specific information like names or dates, and then reading deeply to understand arguments and details when needed.
So different techniques for different questions.
Precisely. For example, with matching headings to paragraphs questions, episode 72 warns against just matching keywords. That's a common trap. You often need to grasp the paragraph's main argument, its purpose.
Ah, okay.
And things like true, false, not given questions. They often rely on subtle differences in meaning. Can you tell if something is stated, contradicted, or simply not mentioned? It demands real precision and understanding the author's stance, all while the clock's ticking. You're like a linguistic detective hunting for evidence quickly.
Linguistic detective. I like that. Okay, so we've broken down the skills, what they're looking for. Now let's circle back to something central in our sources. The focus on tips. Resources like Learn and Success episode 72 are full of them. Why are these tips so vital? They seem like more than just general study advice. What makes them a strategic weapon for these exams?
That's a really good question. The tips are so valuable because they demystify the test itself. It's not just about getting better at English generally, it's about performing your best under the specific rules and pressures of that particular exam.
So knowing the game.
Exactly. English for Exams, Learn and Succeed, calls them test-wise strategies. This includes crucial things like time management, knowing how much time to allocate to each question or section. It includes understanding question formats, recognizing tricky wording or common distractors in multiple choice. And it means understanding the scoring, knowing what examiners value for, say, vocabulary range or grammatical accuracy.
Episode 72, for instance, apparently gives a specific timing tip for reading. Allocate time based on the number of questions for a passage, not just how long the passage looks. That kind of insight can save vital minutes.
Right.
It's about being smart about the test, anticipating its structure, and showcasing your skills effectively within that structure.
Being smart about the test. That really sums it up. Okay, so let's quickly recap our deep dive. We've looked at how exams like IELTS and TOEFL test integrated functional English proficiency. We've dug into the specifics of what's assessed in speaking, writing, listening, and reading, drawing on insights from our sources. And crucially, we've seen why specific tips and test-wise strategies, like those in English for Exams and Learn and Success, are so important for navigating the exam format effectively.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. This raises an interesting question, doesn't it? While these exams feel very high stakes, the skills they actually measure, clear communication, thinking critically, understanding complex information, solving problems strategically, these are incredibly valuable skills for anyone. They go far beyond just passing a test.
That's true.
They're really foundational for learning throughout life, for succeeding academically or professionally anywhere in the world, and just for connecting effectively with people globally. The test is a hurdle, maybe, but the skills themselves, they're definitely for life.
Absolutely. A great point to end on. So as you think about your own learning, consider how understanding these core skills and the strategies to improve them can help you, not just for an exam, but in pretty much any situation that needs clear, effective communication in our connected world. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.